This is to answer one of my Beterhans requests, and he sent me a stage, and this is the stage he claimed he already converted to widescreen. He want me to review and give some comments. So this is basically the stage from Street Fight Alpha or Street Fight 02, the Chun-Li stage. And let's load it up and let's see the result.
覚悟はいいわね。
はい。
It's a good job for a beginner, but after the first glance, I spot the stage actually the ratio between the background building, for example, and the character is not right. The ratio looks like the character is at the normal size, but the background elements, for example, the building and the bike people, is too small. And and I will try to fix this problem in this video and share back the modified version. So the fundamental reason or root cause for this is this local coordinate. So the local coordinate used to be 320 and 240. So he expanded the x local coordinate. The result of expanding the local coordinate will be the background image becomes smaller, but not necessarily the character. That means their ratio will be misaligned. So in this video, I will try to make a tutorial to make the stage looks like this. It looks like this one as normal. The character now have the correct size ratio between background element and the main characters. So the key point is don't expand the local coordinates x, but contract the local coordinates y value. Okay. So let's make a copy of the original definition file. I will rename it underline TWS, which is True widescreen, and we add this new definition file to our selector file. I will keep those files in the selector file and we can compare. And let's open Fighter Factory. And I use Fighter Factory to open the definition file of the stage. It's SFA to Beijing, something like that. Okay, the title is quite complex. I don't like that, so I change it. So I will rename it as Street Fighter Alpha 2 Chun-Li. It make sense. Or Beijing. Actually, I've been to Beijing many times. I didn't recognize this building. I don't know whether this is fictional or have a real-world reference. Okay, so we rename the stage and say this is a TWS version. And then you see all the authors, history authors. We have original authors and have an editor. I will add my name to the editor too. I think one of them is my Patreon. And let's look at those camera parameters. So the first number I will change is the zoom in parameters. I will use 0.75. So this 0.75 will make the character look at the same size as they are in 4:3 screen. For zoom out, it's up to you. I will use 0.6 for now. Maybe I will adjust later. The second one I'm going to change is the local coordinate, because we are going to shrink the y value, not to expand the x. We will put back the x to 320, and because 16 by 9 ratio is 1.777, so we use the x divided by 1.77 and got 180. After the reload, and we find all the elements and our character is too low, it's simply because previously from top to bottom is 0 to 240, but now from top to bottom is 0 to 180. So the bottom of the screen is 180, but our character is set at 213. So 213 is around here. So that's why everything looks at the bottom. So what we are going to do is move everything upwards. And this is the most challenging part, to change the y value. So expand the x value is easier, but it will distort the ratio. If you want to keep the ratio, you have to use the hard way. Now let's calculate the new z offset where our character will standing. So the original value is 213. Let's use original screen size y, which is 240 minus 213. We got 27, which means our character will be 27 pixels up against the bottom of the screen. But now the new bottom is 180, so we will use 180 minus 27 to get the new offset. Now the new z offset is 153, and let's reload and see. As you can see, the character is at the correct position. The next step will be move everything in the background up. And before that, we need to know how much this character reel is being lifted up. So the original value for this z offset, which is the character reel is standing, is at 213, right? So the new value of z offset, which is the current level, is 153. The gap is 60 pixels. So that means the character moved up by 60, and everything else should move up by 62. As you can see, all the BG element, which is this one, they have a start value. And this is one of the BG elements. It means everything else need to be moved up by 60. But this is a quite tedious job, so everything have a start value, and this value, for example 240, need to minus 60. If we minus, the thing goes up. If we plus, the thing goes down. So we use 240 minus 60. The result is 180. That means we have to change every BG element's start y value by minus 60. So because this is too tedious and very tired to do, actually I have a script to do this thing. It's called the MGS shift, which is Mugen stage shift. It's available on the GitHub. You can search my name and you can get it. And now I'm going to use the tool to lift every BG element up by 60. You can say Python, this script name and the target definition name, and give it a value, for example -60, and this tool will change all the start value based on the original value. The result is a text file, and you can remove or change the extension name. You remove the extension name txt and give it back to def, and you overwrite the original file, and let's reload the stage. You see, except the bike people, everything is at the correct position. So the reason the biking people is not at the correct position probably is because it's not a static BG element. It's have a controller, and the controller had using a different, very different position settings. So it's not set in the BG element. Maybe we should look at the BG controller. And now we find the BG controller which set position, and here is the Y value. That means this is the original value. We also need use this value to -60 and give it a new value, and let's try. And the new value will be 123, and let's key in 123 and refresh.
Round 1, fight.
Now you see it worked. That means we have to find out other biking people's BG controller which have position sets. And here it is. I will speed up for the next one.
Fight.
Now everything is in the correct position. But now we see a black gap under the stage. That means the zoom out is too much. So I will give a smaller number for zoom out. And another problem is the start position of the two characters is too near, because this is a wider screen, so we can move them apart a little bit. So I changed the 70 to 90. Now they be more apart from each other. And another one is the character is go into the edge too much. So I will change the screen bound to from 15 to 20. Okay, now looks just right. And the next part will be the visibility of this stage. And let's see the background image. You saw this traffic light. Yeah, so to the right of this traffic light, there's still some space we can move towards there, but it's not shown. That means we can adjust the camera bar left and right to give it a bigger value. So then we can see more of the background, or else the background will be wasted. And we can move more actually. Next is the stage height, and let's see how high we can go. And I changed the bound height to a bigger value. And maybe there's still some room we can go high. Okay, let's change it back. Okay, this is the correct value. And for tension for a low definition stage, I give it usually 70 to 80. And this tension is how close when the character towards the edge of the screen and the stage start to zoom in or move. And the original value is too close. I don't want that. Okay, and the tension looks right, but I changed the bond load from -14 to 0. And I noticed there's a black bar down below, so unfortunately we cannot change this bond load to 0. Normally it's 0. That means all the BG elements is adjusted based on -14. So we cannot change that value. I have to go back to -14. Now it's time for the tension high and tension low. So before we adjust the tension high, we change the tension low to 0. And make sure when the character jumps, the camera doesn't follow. But when the character do super jump, the camera start to follow. So this will make the player less dizzy. Now clearly this value is too much and we need to change. Okay, let's save and reload. And it's still too much. Let's reduce it. Yes, now it's okay. When do super jump, the camera follow, and a normal jump, the camera doesn't follow. And this value means from top to bottom for 110 pixels. If the character's axis exceed this level, and the camera will move. And now for the tension low, and this one means when exiting this value, the camera will start to zoom out. And the same policy for me is if you do normal jump, the camera doesn't move. If you do super jump, the camera start to move. So we reduce this value and check. And still move a bit, reduce again. Maybe again. Now it's okay. The next one will be the music parts. So originally this stage have the music and have a loop points, and the original title say is the music matched. But unfortunately he didn't send me the music, so I have to find the corresponding music for this stage and do the loop. And let's search Street Fighter Alpha 2 Chun-Li stage or Chun-Li theme. And we saw the first one, this one. Because this is a music for Mugen to use, so I didn't expect super quality or decent quality. It just need to be normal quality, that's enough. Clearly the first one is the original, the second one is the arranged one. So I will take the original and ignore the arranged one. And I will use my Mac and the YouTube DL to download the original song. from YouTube. So after download, let's check the video, and it's working and no issue. And then we drag the video into Audacity and extract the audio. It says I don't have the plugin. I have to download the plugin first. So you follow the plugin, follow the instruction, and go to the website and download. And this website is quite confusing. Actually, the download link is here. It's a zip file, and you download. So after you extract the zip file, you put the zip folder in the Audacity folder, and then you go to your Audacity and locate this folder. And now the plugin is loaded. Now we can open AAC audio. And now it worked. I will try to find the next looped parts, not here. It's looping. That means after this part, all the after part we don't need it to save space, because we are going to use a Mugen engine to loop. So we don't need the second loop part. Yeah, we are going to delete all this part and delete. And this is the thing we need. And the next thing is, since this is AAC, we need to save it as a MP3, because Mugen engine by default only support MP3. And we extract the current one to MP3 format. And the bitrate mode is, I personally favorite the variable mode, and the quality 200 something is very good quality already, especially for Mugen. And I will export the MP3 right beside the stage file, because I want MP3 right beside the stage file, not in the songs or other folders, because it's too difficult for me to manage. So sometimes I want the stage file to be moved into another folder. So if the music file and the stage file have the same name, it's much easier to move around. And for the title, I can say actually you don't need to have a title, and nobody care about this. But here I give it SFA to Chun-Li. Okay, export it. Now you can see the music file have the same name as the stage definition file. And it have the correct bitrate. Okay, it's only 1 point something big, so it can save some memory. Now we are going to find those loop points. So here you should select samples, not second. By default it will be second. No, you should show samples. Okay. So let's go back to the stage and change the name. So the default folder is under the sound folder. I don't like that. I like the music is with the stage. So our music is under stage folder. So I change the sound to stages and change the music file name because we have a different file name. So I have to change the file name. Okay. And this one later. Actually, this is the wrong parameter. And here we have to deal with the loop start and the loop end. And this part is purely by your experience. And this is the loop start point. And let's zoom in. Now I can visually saw this loop start point. It's here. And let's zoom in more. Okay. So I prefer to use a flat place, which the sample point is in the middle. Okay. And then we go down and see the sample number. So let's remember this sample number and input into here. Next will be the loop end points, which should sound exactly the same as the loop start. It should be around here. Here is here. Let's zoom in. I think I found it. It's here. I think it's here. Yeah, it's here. So we choose the exact shape just as the loop starts. And remember the sample number and fill the number into loop end. And next part is this pass for the SFA. And I suggest remove any pass, for example, this stage. That's because without the pass, Mugen still can find it. If with the pass, you can only put stage file inside this root stage folder. But for management purpose, sometimes I like to put those stage under another folder, for example, based on the author or based on the game. So I will put some stage in another folder. So if here have the pass, Mugen will not able to find this SFA file. So it's better without pass. But different for music. Music part is you have to have the pass. And let's reload it to see the music loop is correct or not. looks like the loop point is perfect. You cannot hear any disturbance between these loop points, I believe. And finally, I want to point out this parameter, and this parameter is totally wrong. You see the BG volume is 0, but we still can hear music. That means this one is totally useless. I changed to 100, no difference. Actually, the correct one is BGM volume. And the maximum number is 100, and if I change to 20,
Fight.
you see the music becomes softer. If I change to 0, the music should be silent. And the music is gone. So the correct one is BGM volume, not BG volume. And the BG volume is only valid in older Mugen. For 1 point something is BGM volume. And okay, thanks for watching. The final product will be shared in my Patreon, back to my patrons. Okay, thanks.